Hello everyone, my name is Anitsu and I'm back with another Digi Finance video. Today I'm looking back over at UUTI for their bi-monthly sales rankings for the best-selling card in each rarity for the given time period of October 16th to October 28th. During this time period, this is the end of spoiler season, so we already know or already knew about a lot of the cards that were coming out in Japan's new booster BT03. Union Impact, and as such, the rankings for these cards definitely are changing based on what people are thinking about buying for the new cards and the new decks that they want to play. So first up, starting with the best-selling SR during this time period, it is going to be Millennium On. So Millennium On is just an absolute beast of a card. So what he does innately just in a vacuum is when you Digivolve into him, you get to return one of the opponent's Digimon to the bottom of the deck and destroy all of its Digivolution sources. On top of which, he even has a on-deletion ability, where if he had any Digivolution sources, you could basically self-revive him out of your trash for free. So not only does he have removal when you play him, he also is a very sticky card because he requires you to remove him twice in order to fully get rid of him. Just in a vacuum, he's very, very good, but what's really making him climb to the top during this time period is the fact that we were getting a whole bunch of level 7 support in black, which he can Digivolve off of black, so that means all of the level 7 support also indirectly supports him as well. So you could potentially use the Ragnarlordmon line's black support to make a very, very powerful Millennium On with blocker, with reboot, with security tech, with jamming, like just a whole bunch of different abilities that could really make this Digimon really, really stacked. On top of which, again, his removal and revive ability are two good abilities to have, and definitely is what makes Millennium On a top pick for the best-selling SR during this time period. On top of which, not only does Black get a whole bunch of new tools, Purple also got a whole bunch of new tools. So Purple now has their Value Mega to help turbo into Millennium On even faster if you want to play Millennium On in Purple. But I definitely think that the Black support for level 7s more specifically is why people are picking him up. And next up, onto the best-selling rare during this time period, we have Skull Greymon. So Skull Greymon is a pretty interesting card because he is a level 5 with an on-play ability. You get to delete one of your opponent's Digimon with blocker. So that's just a pretty powerful ability to have, being able to remove a blocker, so that way it ensures that your damage can go through. But the interesting part about it is the fact that there really wasn't a whole lot of new blockers added to the card pool, except for the ones in black. So black blockers is definitely looking to be a very, very strong deck, in part because of Craniumon, but the fact that people are looking at Skull Greymon as a good tech card against not only just blockers in general, but more specifically black blockers, is probably why he is the best-selling rare during this time period. Next up, the best-selling uncommon is going to be the level 4 version of Argemon. So Argemon has this really interesting ability of Digisorption, which is an ability that allows you to suspend one of your Digimon to reduce the evolution cost of this card. So what Green really likes to do is they like to use this ability to try to get ahead of the opponent on having a stronger Digimon out a lot faster and a lot earlier. So that way they could really start to deal some damage to the opponent faster than they could build up their board. But the really interesting thing on why this card is the best-selling uncommon is probably because of all of the synergy that Digisorption has with Ceresmon. So Ceresmon allows you to use the opponent's Digimon to pay for the Digisorption cost, which is very, very powerful because it's essentially resting the opponent's Digimon down, allowing you to attack into it. And on top of which, you are basically reducing or making your Digivolution cost free. So not only are you building up your Digimon a lot faster than your opponent, you're also resting their Digimon down so that way you could take control of the board a lot faster and a lot more efficient than you could before. As such, Argemon is just one of the better cards to play for that Ceresmon Digizorption deck, and that is probably why he is the best-selling uncommon during this time period. And lastly, we have the best-selling common during this time period, and it is going to be Kabutarymon. So Kabutarymon is a really fantastic green Digimon. This is mostly looking like it's going to be going into that green Ceresmon deck for a couple of different reasons. Well, the first big reason is he's a level 4 with a Digivolve cost of 1, so that means it only costs 1 memory to Digivolve up into Kabutarymon. So he's very, very cheap and very, very efficient to Digivolve with as a stepping stone. On top of which, he has a really powerful inheritable ability where during your turn, increase the DP of this Digimon by 1,000 for each of your opponent's suspended Digimon. Not only are you playing him to get into your level 5s and level 6s faster, but you are also playing him to increase the DP of your Megas so that way you could win a lot more trades and try to take control of the board in a more efficient manner. With Ceresmon, you're using the opponent's Digimon as the cost for the Digizorption ability. So that means when you rest them using Digizorption, that means that they're in a rested state and the Mega this is under, most likely it would be Ceresmon, would get plus 1,000 DP for that. So you could use that DP to attack into the opponent's other Digimon to essentially act as a more efficient way to destroy the opponent's Digimon. Or you could use it to attack into their security, and with that higher DP have a better chance at living through security checks. So either way, this card is just an absolute fantastic green card for those green decks, and definitely one you would want to be thinking about using. So for the most part, that's what people are thinking about buying from each of the different rarities. It definitely looks like as spoiler season went on, people are still thinking about green, and people are thinking about black still. So those are definitely two very, very prominent colors to look out for in the BT03 meta, is black and green because of just all of the good powerhouse support that they got. So that's kind of all I really have for this video. As always, tell me your thoughts down in the comments below. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more content. And I will see you in the next video.